Squad, Joe, listen to this pod show. Worldwide, bro, you know how the vibe go. Facts and law, we give it to you real and raw. Facts and law, yeah, we give it to you real and raw. Real and raw, real and raw.
Yo, good energy, good people. It's your boy Outlaw, and y'all see where we at. We're not at home. We actually at my favorite place to come when I'm chilling out, hanging with the fellas at Casa De Puros. You know what I'm saying? It's my home cigar shop with the good brother Greg, the owner of Casa De Puros. What's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Good. Let me come through, and you know I'm always here anyway. But had opportunity to come in, sit down, and talk about the new shop, right? And we also, y'all did notice, you know, I don't want to go past that. Unfortunately, Facts had something come up at the last minute, but y'all know who we got in the building.
Yes, sir. Your boy Jocko filling in for my boy Facts.
Yes, sir. Jocko, better known as Opinions. You know what I'm saying? Not Facts today, but Opinions again. You know what I'm saying?
Evil twin brother in the building.
You did. All right. So Greg, you know, a lot of people don't know this is actually a brand new shop, right?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
We started putting it together April of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we the other location, you know, you visit there a lot.
Yeah.
It was smaller.
It was a little smaller, y'all. We're gonna give y'all a little bit of a tour of this one, but it was smaller, yeah.
It's not a little smaller. Actually, we got more than twice the space.
Talk that shit,
yeah. Actually, we do.
Yeah, you know, and one thing I will tell you though, that was a nice intimate spot. You know what I mean? It was right on. It was on Madison. You know, we would go through there all the time. Tell me, let's go to the beginning. Like, what made you get into the cigar business? Like, how'd that come about?
I'm a cigar smoker.
Okay.
And I've been smoking cigars a long time.
Okay.
So I was there purchasing cigars, and I heard it was for sale.
Ah.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
That was 2020.
Okay.
And I kind of let some other people and myself talk me into buying it.
All right. Well, you know.
So it was more of a passion thing than profit in the process.
Yeah, it was a passion, and no, I was looking for some profit.
Oh, okay.
I just wasn't doing it just to be doing it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it, and you know, and I'm one of those people who when you do something, you want to do it your very best.
Yeah.
Okay, and like over there, we pride ourselves on hospitality, customer service, and keeping a variety of cigars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So being that, you know, over there you jumped in 2020, was that something that you had did you see yourself owning a cigar shop prior to that? Never. It was just like, hey, the opportunity is there.
Yes, never. I've never been in retail.
Okay.
So prior to this, no experience, just dived in.
Just dived in.
So that's a lesson to people out here. You want to get something, you better get out there. Just go ahead for it.
When the opportunity presents itself, take that opportunity. Now, we were over there for a while. What made you change and decide to expand?
Well, it was a couple of reasons.
Okay.
A few reasons. One is you had tenants over the building.
Okay.
And they always complained of smoke.
Wasn't it a cigar shop before that?
It was a cigar shop before that, but it was grandfathered in. Mm-hmm. Okay, now you have to have a standalone building if you want to get a cigar license. Okay? And then we had people complaining about smoke, complaining about loud music, and we kind of had a little problem with them renewing our lease. Okay.
Oh, so that was a lease, even though you bought the business.
I bought the
business. That building was
business.
under a lease.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any truth to like Forest Park giving like black business owner a hard time in that area, or is it just like a situation where?
I don't like to get into the specifics of that, but I have heard that.
Okay. So it's not uncommon to say that you might have been in some situation.
It's not uncommon.
Okay.
The mayor and everybody was real nice to me.
Right.
While I was there. Okay. I thought it was just time to move on.
Right.
Because you got issues, you got people smoke, you got people complaining about the smoke.
Right.
You complaining about the loud music.
Then it wasn't like, I mean, it was nice over there, but the parking wasn't as as good as it is now, I would say.
Oh no, because we got a building, and we got parking on each side, and we got parking on the street.
Exactly.
Okay, and you don't have to worry about paying the park.
Getting tickets,
Yes.
and all that good stuff.
Yes, but tell you a little bit about getting this business going. It was tough because Maywood had never had a smoke ordinance.
Okay.
In these villages, you have to have a license for that people can go sit down and smoke.
Okay.
Maywood created that for us.
Okay. And
That's Mayor Booker and
this book, we had opportunity to meet him at the grand opening, man.
Yeah, him and his team, he pushed for it to happen.
That's nice.
And we also got a BYOB.
Yeah.
I was just about to get in what other amenities you guys offer.
Yeah, we have a BYOB.
And see, that's dope because by being not only the first, but it's the only in Maywood, right?
Yes.
Right. So that I'm sure that have you seen a lot of new faces and new traffic since being here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We shut down in July in Forest Park, July 31st, and actually I only seen about 50% of the members that we had over there.
Really?
Yeah, 50% of the people.
Okay.
But here we got standing room only on the weekend. You be here sometime.
All the time.
It's
right.
It's
So
no place to
ultimately,
sit.
it was the right move.
Yeah, it was a good move. It was a good move.
I mean, seeing that I've been to your shop prior over there in Forest Park, you guys always kind of had like a nice gathering, you know, on any good day. You know what I'm saying? So for you to double that, how has that been for business in terms of you keeping up with, you know, the latest things that people want and, you know what I'm saying, being able to accommodate everybody?
We always, my son and me, Roscoe, we always talk about buying a bunch of cigars. See, like if you like Monte Cristo, and we don't have Monte Cristo, we go out and get Monte Cristo, put it on the shelf.
Right.
Okay, so we don't have a lot of problems when somebody come and look at our inventory. You got so many to choose from.
Right.
Ain't that right, Abdul?
Right. And see, and that's one thing that's dope for me. Like, I'm not that picky on cigars. You know, if somebody recommends something, I'm gonna try it. Here, I can come in every day for, I would say, probably at least 3 months and get a new cigar. You know what I'm saying?
See, a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah.
You take me for instance. Before I bought the cigar shop, I smoked Opus X. Okay, that's one particular cigar.
Right.
And if I have to drive from here to Kankakee to get Opus X, then that's what I do.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because that's your particular. That's the only thing you smoke.
No, now I smoke everything.
Right. Because you got it at your disposal.
Yeah,
Right.
now I smoke everything.
So, what would you say? What's your favorite thing about being in this business now that you're about going on 4 years in? Just about, you know what I mean? What's your favorite thing about it?
Meeting a lot of new people,
Okay.
making a lot of new friends. Okay, like I met you, meeting John. I meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
All walks of life, different professions. You know, in the store.
Right. And that's, I tell people all the time, I try, anybody that I talk to, listen, come meet me at the shop. I love coming to the shop because there's a different breed of people that come here. I'm going to keep it real. This is the one and only black-owned shop in Maywood. Was that there, bro?
Yeah, can we get them in?
Yeah, hey, man, why don't you come check us out?
Can we get them a seat?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, absolutely
Should I get them?
Nah, when you ready, if you want to let them come sit down and chop it up, you know, we'll do that.
So could you just describe, for the people who haven't visited your shop, describe like the atmosphere on a nice busy weekend? Like, is it welcoming? Is it
Very, very welcoming. Good music, and it's live. You know, it's not like you go to some places and you just sit in the corner, you by yourself, you had a long day. Here is live. Okay.
More interaction between folks, you know, of all backgrounds.
Right.
I can dig that.
Now, over here, you bring your food. Of course, we got a kitchen, microwave, coffee. We keep plenty of water and pop.
Yeah.
So you feel right at home. And actually, a lot of people can't wait till they get off work to come here.
I can believe it. I can believe it.
And see, and that's the thing, man. It's like I have met some really good brothers since I started coming in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I started coming here in 2020. I'll keep it real. During the pandemic, it was the only place that we could really go, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it wasn't those same kind of restrictions. It was you know, not as many to capacity, but I was able to come in and meet a lot of good brothers. You know what I mean? It's an all black shop there. Of course, we have others and good homies that are from, you know, other backgrounds, but this is mainly
they feel right at home.
Yeah, exactly.
They
can conversate with us.
Yes.
They can enjoy themselves. They don't feel out of place, and it's always all love. I've never heard. I was about to say I ain't never heard an argument in here, but we get to talking about sports, and that's what we're gonna do all day, right?
Yes.
But like real deal, it's one of my favorite places to go to relax, to chill out, and honestly get some good knowledge from a lot of good brothers older than myself. That's something that, you know, after time I was looking for, was some mentors, some people that I can go and at least look up to and learn from. You know what I mean? Because when you in a position where you feel like a lot of people come to you for that kind of thing, I needed somewhere to go where I was able to feel like I got somebody I can, you know, listen to and learn from. And you know, y'all some good brothers up here.
You know the old saying.
What's that?
If you the smartest person in the room,
You're in the wrong room.
room.
You feel me? And that's the thing, and that's something that I certainly appreciate coming up here. Now, being that this is, you say 2 times, it looks like it's about 3 times bigger than the old spot. But
if you count the outside patio,
yeah,
was you at the
right.
grand opening?
Come on.
Okay, you was at the grand opening. The patio out front, there was standing room only.
Yeah.
We had a DJ back there. There was standing room only. If you look on Facebook, you'll see it all over the
I
place.
got good videos of it. We're gonna drop some in this episode too.
And the parking lot was off the chain.
Yep. We had food for
Yeah.
free. Food
Yeah.
trucks out here, food for free. They had rib tips, chicken tips, nachos, all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm up there. Look, I just had the tip because I just knew it was gonna cost me something. You know what I mean? And I they set it out. The mayor came out here to do the ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
And man, I was just really impressed with the way it came together. The time frame, it was what, April to September?
Yeah. I'll talk about that, but I ain't getting no sleep.
Yeah.
So I felt like I stayed woke for 6 months.
Yeah. Was it worth it?
Oh yeah, it's worth it because you know the feeling, the feeling that you start something, and then you see it to finish.
Yeah.
Okay, and if you look at this building, it was a dingy white brick building, and
Probably rode past it a million times, you know, right now.
Was it a restaurant?
it was a restaurant on one side. It was a title long place on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and it really took some vision to get it to where I wanted it.
So whose vision was it? Was it just yours alone? Did you have some, like, was it you and Roscoe? Like, what do you think was the?
Yeah, no, it was a lot of hours.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot of hours. You had Roscoe, and then you got owners of the other cigar shop.
Okay.
Monte Cristo, 8 to 8. Shout out to those brothers.
Okay.
They really helped me out.
Nice.
They came and designed it.
Okay, that's what I like.
They designed it, and they would drive back and forth to make sure I was doing the right thing.
And where's that? Is that the one in?
That's in Countryside.
Countryside.
Yeah,
Okay.
Monte Cristo.
Okay.
Then you got 8 to 8 in Villa Park.
Villa Park. That's the
Those guys was amazing. Okay, they
See, that's good. Now in this business, they don't look at that as like competition. They were just ready to help.
you know they the ones who sold me
Okay, got you.
on Madison Street.
Got you. Okay.
And those guys proved themselves to be like brothers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and they told me, hey, don't worry, Greg. We're gonna hold your hand. And they held my hand through the business.
That's dope.
rare.
Man, I love it.
Rare.
I love
There's
it.
not a lot of that going on in the world, you know what I'm saying? People
Yeah, no.
help you from start to finish in terms of doing things.
And
like
they have a different nationality, but you can't tell. We call each other brothers.
They brothers,
I
but-
love you.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. They
that. Yeah,
brothers.
brotherhood go beyond any type of racial boundaries in that case. But what's been in your journey? You say you've been starting at this since what, 2020? What's been like the most memorable moment that you've had so far in terms of just like starting to finish?
That ribbon cut.
Ribbon cut.
That ribbon cut. I was on another class.
Yeah.
Because
Was that holding you holding your grandbaby too, right?
yeah, I had all the grandkids.
Yeah.
Because when you start something, and you, it's like it's a big project. It's a man-sized project because you had to gut this bill inside. You had to do the outside. You had to work on the licenses.
Red tape is crazy.
And where's all this money coming from?
right.
For sure.
I think I ran out of money about 5 times. And the big thing is, I'm a general contractor.
Okay.
So that part didn't scare me getting it done. But I would have to get here 7, 8 in the morning and make sure everybody's doing what they're doing, what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I don't leave sometimes at 10, 11 o'clock at night. Hey, go home, cross the bed, because ain't no need to go on the bed.
Yeah.
You got to get right back.
Yeah.
Come again.
I was about to ask you, what prior experiences that you had did you use to incorporate into starting this thing up in terms of you being like...
Oh, I've been hanging around real estate for the last 30 years.
Okay.
Whether that was buying it, flipping it. I was a real estate broker.
Okay.
I'm also a public insurance adjuster. So my whole life has been around real estate. Okay, so getting the project done was easy. It was just real time consuming.
Especially when you're trying to hit that deadline.
Oh yeah, we had a deadline.
Yeah.
And everybody told me, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it.
Hey, you can't tell these Virgos nothing like that. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Look.
You know how we work?
Look, we had a date September the 1st. You're not gonna make it. Okay, cool. We're not gonna make it. It hurt me, but we're not gonna make it. Okay, I set a date September the 15th. You're not gonna make it. I accepted that. September 23rd. We going by each Saturday in the month of September. I wanted to do it on the 23rd. It kind of hurt me. I told everybody we're gonna open September 30th. If it come hell or high water.
Listen, when I tell y'all, I was up here that week a few times, and it was so much work that needed to be done, and I knew they were gonna get it done. They were gonna have to work all night, but I mean, it was like a lot of stuff that you see around in here wasn't even put together yet. But by the 30th, that Saturday morning, hey, we was rocking.
Yes,
we was rocking.
Yes. There was wood everywhere. The whole month leading up to it, and anybody come in and say, you're not going to, where's your furniture? What they don't know is I had some furniture from the old place. I had bought new furniture.
Yeah, we bought new chairs right before, right?
Yeah, yeah, and then I bought new furniture, but what we did was we put it on the truck. We had a big U-Haul sitting outside with all the furniture.
Just waiting to come in.
Just waiting to come in. And once we got it good enough where we could bring it in, then it really started to unfold that night.
Yeah. So how long were y'all here the night before grand opening?
To 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that ain't so bad. I thought like 6.
Right. No, we was here till 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's good though, because I'm telling you, when I came, I was because I was here that night around 6:30 that night, that Friday night, and it was still like it was work to be done. You know what I mean? It was work to be done. It was workers everywhere, and I'm like, hey, they gonna get to it. That next morning, it looked like this. You know what I mean? I was very impressed. I couldn't wait for the shop to get back open because it was it's a safe place for us. You know what I'm saying? We can go chill, not have to worry about no drama, have to worry about a lot.
You think about how many phone calls we take. When are you opening? When are you opening?
Yeah.
And they wasn't accepting what we was telling them. They would drive up here, let us see. They would come in. We want to see what's going on.
So, getting back to like the cigars. So, walk me through like your curation process. Like, what do you and your son do in terms of what you want to get rid of, what you want to keep? You know what I'm saying? What you want to bring in that's hot. Like, how do you guys get together on that situation?
That's a good question. I try not to get into that.
Oh, yeah.
So you just
I try not to get into that. I let him do that. He 27, 28. He got a fresh mind. Okay, I let him do that. And he knows what people like. You know, somebody come in and they like legal provider. You want your legal provider? We got your legal provider. and he really enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
So he's an aficionado.
Yes.
That's what's
yes.
up.
He did it himself. And I'll tell you what happened, John. When I bought the cigar shop, he wasn't in the business. He went to WIU. He stayed there 4.5 years. And he did what his dad asked him to do. He bought a home degree.
Okay.
And he had a degree in psychology. And he couldn't find a decent job. So one night he called me. He said, I'm coming up to the shop tonight to check you out. He had never smoked a cigar. He came to the shop, and this was sometime in 2021.
Okay.
He smoked a cigar and he stayed there the rest of the evening. He said, Dad, I loved it.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard not to, man.
And he been here ever since. And I got to give my son his props because he helped me out.
Yeah.
With him being here, I don't have to be here.
Yeah.
And he got that young, fresh brain. And
So in a sense, you really are the mastermind because you tapping into him, which is tapping into the newer culture of cigar smokers and the youth culture and everything of that entails that.
so you sound the mastermind?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I think that you
I
own
was up
something
there.
right there.
Right.
You know that? For sure. You know what I'm saying?
I let
Just
him-
like you say, you ain't the smartest man in the room. You in the wrong room. So
I let him do his hiring. You know, it's, come on, face it, guys. I'm almost at retirement age. And sometime at 7:30, hey, y'all, I'm going. I don't want to be here no more.
Yeah.
I'll go home and do like older people do, watch Gunsmoke.
Right. But man, listen, I can't say it enough, man. I love the shop. It makes me just like I tell people when I refer to it, I say our shop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is our shop.
You know, it's our shop. I want people to come in, treat it like it's yours, respect it, love it. You know what I'm saying? Patronize it, all that good stuff.
Everybody liked Madison Street, 7410.
Yeah, 7410
So,
was the spot.
I knew doing this building, I would have to do something next to 7410. I knew it just couldn't be a regular cigar shop.
absolutely.
Okay? So we went out our way.
Yeah, cause when I came in here, you know, this is my first time visiting this particular location. When I came in here, it still felt like that same feel that I got off of Madison. That you know, that same in welcomeness, that same type of atmosphere, that aesthetic is kind of like a continuation, but an improvement at the same time. You know
Job, what I wanted for everybody to come through the door to say, wow.
For sure.
Did you say that?
No, I did.
When I came in on Madison, I was like, I was wild by it, you know, and coming in here, it's like, this is
Double wide.
yeah,
Right?
you know what I'm saying?
Double
You took it over the top, man, for real.
And it's still, small things that you want to do to even just keep adding to it, right?
Yeah, because I want to get the ventilation exactly right.
Okay.
Okay, it's good now, but I want the ventilation right. Okay, I want it to be like a downtown cigar shop. Okay, and we got the real patio. I want to get the temperature back there right, so that in January and February we can sit back there and then we can really enjoy it.
Yeah, but it's nice, man. You got the big, large windows back there that you can close. You have an opportunity to, get some sunlight when it's daytime. Like, it's nice, man. It doesn't feel, like one thing I will say in contrast to what we will have to deal with on Madison. Sometimes, on game nights, we get packed in that back and there's no real way to go. We don't have that problem here.
Don't forget we only had 2 TVs.
Yeah.
Over here we got
that's
6
right.
TVs.
Well, yeah.
And we could watch 5 different games at one time.
That's what's up.
Hey.
The other night somebody was watching baseball because it's the playoffs. Then they was watching basketball, and I think it was Monday night, and they was watching the football game.
Right now we got hockey and basketball on right now.
We couldn't do that in Forest Park.
Yeah, we were on the same channels. Yeah, you're right. So, man, it's a hell of an upgrade, hell of an improvement. But let me ask you this. What's next?
A couple people asked me that. Let's recover from this a little bit.
All right. So let this settle in first.
Let's recover. This took a lot. We got liquor lockers, with cigar lockers.
So,
we went above.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. And beyond.
So,
Now,
With just you having a bigger space, a bigger atmosphere and whatnot, do you plan on like holding like special events here for event spaces or possibly, you know what I'm saying?
Jock, we tried that. We tried that, and I thought so too. Yeah. Last week, a podcast was done here. And
it wasn't a pod show though. It wasn't this one.
Okay. And it kind of interrupted the patrons. These people get in their car and they drive clean across town to come here. They don't want to be part of no podcast. They come and smoke their cigars and relax. Okay? And what happened, I thought that I would be able to rent out the real patio.
Okay.
And I mentioned it to my son, and then a few weeks later he did it. And what happened was not taking into account that people want to sit on the patio. So now I done sold it for a few hours, and I felt really, really bad. You know, because the money's one thing. Of course, everybody loves money, but when you drive over, you say, "Man, I can't even sit out here. You can sit out there."
So I guess that's what makes that's what makes this whole situation unique, just by the intimacy of just you being able to have your time, have your relaxation or whatever. So I mean, following that business model might not be a bad thing, considering that you keep your repeat customer base and things with newer customers being want to come in and enjoy that same type of solitude.
Know each other.
Yep.
Somebody's a friend of somebody, and that's why they're here, right?
And it's always look. I tell you, you don't know how many times I've been here, and we sitting watching the game or whatever, and they say, "Hey, there's some food in here if y'all want to come get some." You know what I mean?
Okay.
And vice versa. It's always that welcoming vibe. Like when you come in, even like I tell people all the time, it's just a different vibe. When you sitting here and a brother come in, you might not know him, but he gonna come in and speak to everybody sitting down before he take his seat. That's just common. That's the courtesy. And when you do that, now you're meeting these brothers. Now, you are building at least some type of relationship, and before you know it, we all talking. So the next time you come in, now we familiar. Now we know each other. Now we talking about business. Now, hey, what you do? I do this. You do this. Oh, let's go do this together. You can start to build on that. And I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite places to be, man.
Yesterday, one of the employees, it was a young lady I never seen before. She was with a guy.
Okay.
And one of the employees told me they from out of town. They wouldn't sit alone. So I left for a couple hours. I came back. I said, "Y'all still here?" And the lady looked at me. "Well, you here with?" And I had to apologize. I had to apologize. I said, "Man, I'm the owner, and I'm sorry. I should have introduced myself."
Right.
They've been in Chicago for a few months.
Okay.
They bought a home here.
Okay.
They don't know nobody. They got no friends here. It's just him and her. And he had been around to several cigar shops. And I won't call their names, but he had been to several of them. And he said, "I really like this place."
Found his home.
And this was his second time here. And I made him feel right at home.
The right
I
way.
introduced myself, we sit and talk. I found out what kind of work he do, what I do. He's from Los Angeles. We coming back, we're not going to place.
Hey, and that's the thing. And that's something when you came back, they probably didn't realize it. When you come back like, "Oh, y'all still here?" You saying it's a good thing. Like, "Oh, I'm surprised y'all still here."
Right. And the lady looked at me like, "Why you even notice?"
Right.
That's just how intimate the business is.
Yeah, but I had to apologize and make her understand why I was saying that.
So tell me this: how pleasant of a surprise is to you to have such a unique business in terms of opening up a cigar shop and you seeing the level of success that you have seen in this business while you've been going through your journey?
I love it, y'all. I love it, and at my age, I look at it during the grand opening. I had the grandkids. Right, and I'm gone one day, and the kids still got it.
That's a good feeling.
That's the pleasure. It's theirs. I'll make sure I won't mortgage it. I'll make sure it leaves something.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. Not that I want to go. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, sure.
We don't understand.
Yeah.
But
In terms
you know,
of forward thinking.
life is life.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and the baby boy, he loves it. And you know him real well. That's Roscoe.
Yeah.
He got more hair than anybody.
Right.
But he's still my baby boy.
Yeah. So Roscoe the youngest, huh?
Yeah, Roscoe the youngest.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel good about it.
You should, man. You definitely
good about it.
should. It makes, like I said, look, when we were here for the ribbon cutting, I was proud, like I was in here with a hammer and you know what I'm saying, and putting shit up and putting stuff together.
It was so many hours and hours of work. You know, the cabinetry, the woodwork came from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and when they would deliver once a week, once every other week, they got a great big old truck, and we would have to unload that truck.
Y'all was doing that. Y'all was really getting the elbow.
Imagine this: the plumber, the electrician, the HVAC, and the carpenter. Everybody working on top of each other. And don't forget about the technical people, the surround sounds guy.
So does that motivate you more when you see like this is coming together, this is happening, this is coming to fruition, or is it like, oh, you gotta be more on top of things? Like what state were you in at that point?
I'm a general contractor, so
Right.
I've been putting houses, buildings back together for years. Okay, but the first time doing one for me.
Yeah.
So I had to persuade everybody. Hey, I'm having a grand opening on the 30th. The carpenters, really nice guys. I believe Ukrainian, really nice guys. They would stay here to work till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night sometimes.
They want to see it through too.
Yeah, of course they was after that cheese.
Of course, yeah,
So they
for
like,
sure.
we'll do it, so you're gonna have to pay us, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing wrong. Hey, but I feel like I'm big on people should get paid for their work. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Especially if it's good work.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what advice would you give to somebody that wanted to follow in your footsteps, so to speak? And
With a cigar shop.
yeah.
It's a lot of dedication, a lot of determination. Even if you got the money in place, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. In the cigar shop business, you got different taxes got to be paid. You got to understand that. Okay, you got to make sure that you're in a position to get the right licenses. Because I know people who did business ventures and then they couldn't get licensed.
Right. They put their money into it before they could even get the license.
Yes, yeah, and I kind of did that too.
Okay.
But the mayor told me
All right.
it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So the advice I would give people: be ready to roll up your sleeves and go to work. It's not hard. It's not hard, but it's not that easy too.
More or less got to be tactical in that sense.
Yeah, you just have to go to work and work at it every single day.
What would you consider would be like your busiest period in the year? Like what is like the time of the year where it's just like kind of like a little bit more, an influx of customers and an influx of business rather than other places?
May, June, July, August, and September. The warmer months.
Really? That's the biggest time?
I would think that it would be a colder. I was banking on it being a colder time.
It's easier for me. I can, like, if I'm on a grill, I can smoke a cigar outside in the summer. If I'm outdoors more.
But you can't get that camaraderie.
Exactly. And that's how.
I was gonna say, is it due to like sports season? Is it just more or less just like people just being out more, and just being able to maneuver around the city? Because Chicago,
out more.
Yeah.
And they like to sit and talk with other people.
For sure.
Imagine you grilling. And you the only one out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's no good.
Yeah. You're right. I have to hop on the phone. Or something.
Now you really can't
I had these brothers come over.
You got the fork in one hand,
Right.
and the phone on your ear,
Right.
and the cigar. It's not enjoyable. No, the summer months is really because you got Father's Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then right after Father's Day, you got the event Cigar Week.
Yeah.
And people are happy as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with these patios, you can go sit outside. And
enjoy company.
Yeah, you can take a drink.
Yeah. I will say this though. I know if anything going on, it don't matter. Football season for me is big here. I'm coming for every game. You know what I'm saying? I'm up here for every game. You know what I mean?
And you be on time.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna be early because I want to make sure I get a seat. You feel me?
And you be on time.
I already know.
Yeah.
This dude is the definition of a fanatic.
Yeah,
Right.
Let's say the Bears come on at 12. He here 11:15.
Yep.
No,
Better
especially
believe it.
you remember the
Team
situation in the old place. You come early, make sure you
get a seat. That's what I'm saying.
We didn't have this many seats.
Yeah, that's true. Now, and so and I still tell people, hey, you gotta make sure you're there on time to get a seat. Because you just don't know it. Now, I'll keep it real. When these boys start playing, maybe next year we actually have a good team, you're gonna need the same thing.
Oh, really?
When we playing, when we good, everybody wanna sit down and watch.
When they played, was it Monday night? Was it Monday night football or Thursday night football?
Thursday. It was
Thursday night football.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that was right after the grand opening, wasn't it?
That's right after.
Yeah, yep.
And that was standing room only.
Yep.
And I was so amazed because the Bears was it 0-4, 1-4?
We were like, but that was our first win, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That was the first.
Yeah,
Was that the first win?
I think that was our first win.
Talking about Thursday just passed?
Yeah,
No, 2
I
weeks,
mean,
3 weeks
the
ago.
last
Yeah,
time.
when they played Thursday night this season.
Yeah. So
If you wasn't a fan that keep up, you would think that they was winning the Super Bowl.
hey, we were happy.
They was hollering, they was screaming.
And that was the day I decided to kind of like jet out on the Bears that day because I was working and whatnot. But going back, like, what's your earliest, like, fondest memory, like, with you in cigars that made you was like, you know what, I'm a cigar smoker for life?
This gonna sound crazy.
Nah, tell us.
I used to smoke not the Cuban cigars. I would love cigars. 1997, I started smoking cigars. And I couldn't get cigars, so I got a buddy. And we would get on the airplane and fly to Mexico to get us good cigars.
Yeah.
I remember one time he called me up. He said, hey, the Cubans, do you got any? I said, no. He said, I got a couple of tickets. Let's go to Canada.
Let's go.
Wait a minute.
Right.
15 minutes later, he was in his car going to O'Hare, and I met him at O'Hare. We flew to Canada. We flew to Detroit,
That's insane.
drove into Canada, bought some cigars, got back on the plane. And when we got back to Midway, he got in his car, went back to work. I got in my car, went back to work.
Like,
See, listen, that's a
That's
great story.
But that's a cigar lover.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's hardcore enthusiast right there.
But you see how. What year you say that was?
1997.
1997. Showing his love for the cigar game. Fast forward to 2020, what'd he do? Right? And now 2023, where we at? You feel me? In his black-owned, built from the ground up, basically, cigar shop where we all get a chance to come to and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It don't get no better than that, baby.
For sure.
I love it. You know what I'm saying?
I was very seldomly frequenting like cigar shops, especially a black owned. I think maybe we went to one other than that.
I think I've probably been to one other black-owned cigar shop
like,
outside of here. And that was, I think it was out south. I stopped. It's fairly new. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool. But I was already Casa De Puros. So you know what I'm saying?
It was one that we used to check out over there in the Fort Market as well.
No, Tasters. You talking about Tasters? They're not there no more.
Yeah.
That's where I
heard that was real nice.
It was cool. Yeah. It was good. I like Tasters, but it was a little older. Like the furniture, you could tell it had been there for a while. No, the furniture, you could tell it had been there for a while. You know what I mean? It was nice. It was a good spot, and that's why I met a lot of brothers that I know here, like Big Rob. You know what I'm saying? I met him there years ago. This is like when the Cubs won. I watched the Cubs win there.
Yeah, I was liking the atmosphere and taste of this one as well. Like, very friendly, very what I'm saying, social.
But it's not that.
Not too high, not too low.
They got a couple more black owned
Yeah.
I'm like, you got Devin over on Chicago Avenue, Road.
Yeah, they new, right?
Yeah, Devin.
What is that? Chicago Avenue and like
Right on Austin.
Right. I heard about it. I haven't been there yet. I haven't,
Good hospitality.
Okay.
I even went out to Windy City.
Where's that?
That's 43rd, I believe, somewhere. 43rd
Like Prairie. Yeah, that's the one I had been to.
Like
that's the one I had been to, and it was cool.
I had never been there, but I was working the South Side.
Yeah.
And I needed a cigar, and I went and knocked on the door.
Yeah.
And the owner said, "We're not even open yet."
But,
and I told him who I was. He said, "Come on in."
Yeah.
And got me a cigar. We chopped it up for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Maurice.
That's the one I had been to. That's the only really.
Do you ever catch yourself nowadays, like even though you have your own shop, you ever just catch yourself just frequenting other shops just to see what's going on and try to kind of stay up on the cusp of what's new and whatnot?
What happened was I get caught somewhere without a cigar.
Okay.
Like I was in Oasis in Oak Park about 2 weeks ago, and what happened was I live in that area, and I had a meeting downtown. So do I go all the way to First Avenue, be late for my meeting, do I stop right here? I stop right there.
It makes no sense not to.
I stop right there because I need a cigar. I'm a true smoker. I want one on the ride.
Right. The right way, man. Listen, I love it, man. Like, I know you're a busy man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to sit down and pick your brain for the pod show. You know what I'm saying? And see.
I love people. I love to see people happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm in it for the money, but I love to see. You take that young lady over there in the corner.
Yeah.
She comes here and that's what she do. She wants to get on her computer and smoke her cigars and enjoy herself.
It's a lot of people that come here and work.
Yes,
right?
yes, and I'm happy that we can provide.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You come in with your computer, you get the Wi-Fi password, you get a chance to sit, do your business, nobody gonna mess with you, man. I love it.
And we real big on hospitality.
Yeah, I always feel well.
Yeah, we real big. When somebody come in and make them feel at home.
Yeah. So, like, you got any plans for like doing anything in the future in terms of like improving? Like you want, like I know that you like what you got going on right here. I know that you like your setup is wonderful. But like, do you ever sit up and say, man, maybe I could do something with this, or maybe I could change this room? Like, have you ever had that thought yet, or you just kind of like, in terms of just content with you just flowing with your business right now?
Well, right now, it's still sinking in.
Okay.
And I'm sure there's going to be other improvements that's going to have to be done. Yeah, you know, like the mayor and me was talking that maybe I could buy a building and knock it down and make a parking lot. So now Casa De Puros got its own parking lot.
Okay.
Additional parking, right?
Additional parking.
I heard something else that I don't know if you want to mention.
What's that?
Upstairs on the roof.
He made me promise that we'll do a rooftop next year.
I agree.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like the sound.
Next year there will be a rooftop.
They have it. You know, that's what I was. You know, I knew about that, so I wanted to go ahead and mention it.
Next year there will be a rooftop.
That's what's up.
That's gonna be dope.
Y'all heard it first.
Yeah.
You know, that's gonna be so dope.
I was talking about expanding, building it over. And I was talking to him about it. He said, don't forget, you promised me that you'll put a rooftop. So maybe we'll have a cigar shop with a rooftop.
Yeah.
Nice, man. I see that's big right there.
You know where I'll be. You know that. Hey, listen, you ain't got to worry about me. I'll be here. You know, I come at least. I say about twice a week, maybe. I'm here about twice a week. You know what I mean? Depending on what game's on, because especially during football season, Sundays I'm gonna be here.
So you bigger on football than you are basketball?
Well, see, basketball. I come for those games, but you know, I gotta kind of spread it out the way.
It's
like,
80,
it's
right? 82 of them boys. You know, you gotta.
Yeah, you know, it's like because I know I'm gonna come on Sunday, and she know I'm gonna come on Sunday, so there's not really no discussion on that. You know what I mean?
One of the things I love most about this place, when you walk in, see in the other place, when you walk in, you had just one room to go sit in. Now it's over. You got 3-4 different places that you can go sit.
Right.
You don't have to walk in like you did on Madison, walk in the
Either
door.
here or there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
for sure.
now you can.
But I'm not gonna lie. When you guys were on Madison, I would see all the people that's like just in the front over at the shop, rather just being. They didn't care about no TVs or nothing like that. Some good music and some nice sticks, and it was decent. Like it was, you know what I'm saying? That's got to be a good feeling to know that people was enjoying it, and now they're enjoying it to a better level of like more spaciousness and whatnot.
It has become a fad. It's a culture now. Smoking cigars. It wasn't like that back in 1997 when I started smoking. Right?
Yeah.
Now you got women
A lot of women.
smoking cigars.
Yep.
Yeah.
You didn't see a lot of that.
You know what? As a matter of fact, it's so many women that smoke now. What's Thursdays up here?
Ladies' night.
Ladies'
Every Thursday is going to be ladies' night.
Yep. Every Thursday.
Karaoke, good music, and they always raffling off something.
And you know, ladies ain't gonna be nowhere too long without no food. So
Yeah.
it'll be food.
Food, drinks.
Yep.
You remember on Thursday we would be packed with ladies.
Yep. Well, shit. Thursday,
But
Friday.
the reason we stopped it because of Thursday night football.
And they used to get drowned.
Yeah, you couldn't. The men couldn't watch the football games because the ladies being up for ladies' night.
Right.
So the ladies complaining, and then the men complaining.
Yeah.
But we fixed that problem.
Yeah. Now you got.
We got
ample
6
space.
TVs.
And everybody got an opportunity to watch what they want. You know what I mean? I love it, man.
So would you consider like you grabbing onto this business, jumping in, and the time that the culture is caught up with the business, would you consider that like the perfect storm? Was it a stroke of luck? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, it's like, man, I got this shop because, of course, I want to, earn and have a business, but I like smoking cigars. But it seems like everybody else is in on what I like now. So, like, how do you feel about that?
I looked at the opportunity.
Yeah.
Once opportunity presented itself, okay, it's time.
Right.
Okay. I got another son, Greg Jr., and he and I talk. He said, and we always talking about business ventures. I said, son, what do you think about a cigar shop? We talk. He said, I don't see it, Dad. He said, I don't see it. So then about 6 months later, he said he came back. He says, the first time, I didn't see it, Dad. Okay. So now, what I look at is we'll be around for a while, and I feel good about jumping on the opportunity. But one of the things was when we knew the lease, after they didn't renew the lease, I kind of felt bad. But it hurt so many people.
Yeah, it was
If so many people was let down, so many people was disappointed.
Wow.
And I felt
Just the fact that you had to move on to
we had not move on. We had to shut down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We had no place to go.
Right.
Okay, and I felt a sense of responsibility being the owner that I could do something about it. So before we shut down, I was able to tell everybody, don't worry, I bought another place in First Avenue. Y'all gonna love this.
You're definitely right.
I remember that day.
Yeah.
So with you being over here, being on First Avenue, bringing this business over to Maywood, do you hope to inspire other people to kind of start building up new businesses and bring more ventures over here on this side of town?
I would inspire anybody to open a business, okay? Because I'm real big on people owning their own. For sure. I teach my kids that entrepreneurship, try to do it, and I'm goofy. I heard Oprah Winfrey tell Eddie Murphy when he first started in business, and I was a little younger then. Whatever you do, you make sure you sign your own check.
Yeah.
So, Jock, that's kind of what I've been doing for the last 30 years.
So I hear it. I love it.
But
What would you say to people who are like don't have a direction in terms of wanting to own their own, wanting to have their own, but still want that for themselves.
That their dream can become a reality if they push hard and they work with it.
Definitely, man. Because there's a lot of people out here that probably at a starting point of zero, and they don't have no direction. And I mean, do you feel like it's a youth thing? Do you feel like it's an experience thing, time thing?
I don't know, because I know some older people who never tried to venture out into nothing, even though they wanted to.
Right.
I believe young people got a lot more opportunity now with the banks and getting some type of funding to open their own business. And I would inspire anybody, if you want to do something, try it. I mean, what's the worst can happen? You fail. You go back to doing what you was doing. But I've seen a lot of successful people that they started with only their dreams and their admirations, and they made it.
What type of advice would you give somebody who does have that direction? What's the first step that you would advise somebody to take in putting their best foot forward on their own?
If you're gonna do it, consult with somebody. Get with somebody who has opened a business and get all your pointers, get all your questions answered. I'm gonna tell y'all a story I heard many years ago. Walt Disney went to 300 banks for a loan for his ideas. And all of them turned him down. One bank took a chance on him. And look at Florida.
He owned
Look at
Florida.
all the way around.
He owned a section of
He
it.
dead and gone, but look at Florida.
Yeah, flourishing.
Walt Disney.
Thrive.
Disney is on more than Florida. Listen, that's a perfect way to say it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't give up.
You cannot.
Because 10 people told you no. You can't give up in that case because 299 people told you no.
And if you're young and you learn one thing, don't let fear beat you.
How many times do you think that you have faltered in terms of just trying to get started into just having your own, owning your own? Do you feel like it's a process that everybody has to go through? You feel like some people get more lucky than others? Like, what is that based on in terms of?
I believe everybody could make it if they dedicate themselves. Okay. I'll fail. I have failed a few times.
Speak on that.
So what I do is go home and go to bed. I would go home and go to bed and get up tomorrow and do it again. I taught Junior. He said, "What, Daddy? What you do today? You make no more." But what I do, I get up tomorrow and I go do it again. Go do it again because one day it's going to pay off.
Yeah,
especially if you're talking about being in business for yourself.
So basically, the key to mastery is repetition.
That's it, over and over again.
For sure, y'all heard
You look at Michael Jordan. He just keeps shooting the ball,
You miss every shot you don't take.
Exactly.
For sure, man. I appreciate that, man, because a lot of people are out here, they're in a state of, they want to venture out, they want to do, but they have that fear of that failure, that fear of heights.
That's the one thing you want to get around in the beginning.
Yes.
You want to get around the fear. I'm not gonna let my own mind, because I'm afraid. That's the first thing you got to get around.
What do you feel like is your biggest hurdle in terms of just being able to stay relevant in this business, or what do you do to combat that?
But actually, I get tired and I turn it over to the young boy.
Yeah, right.
I turn it over to the young boy.
Hey.
I don't open, I don't close. You never see me ring nobody up.
Right.
I never go behind the register.
I don't know. Maybe at the old shop, I might have saw you once.
No, I never learned how to operate the register.
Okay.
The register is too difficult for me. It's too many steps you got to take, but those guys do it real easy. Mm-hmm. I go back. I tried to ring somebody up, and I was standing back there about 12 minutes. I was standing back there about 12 minutes. They say, "Get out of the way, Greg."
So it's basically got to surround yourself with a team.
Know when to delegate. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you have to have your team.
Ain't do nothing alone.
What's like the workload that you would put on your team versus what you would accept in terms of day-to-day operation? Like do you kind of just like leave it to those guys now, and you kind of just oversee and see it just change around things that you don't like?
What they basically do everything the right way, but what I'm always on them about is customer service. Okay, to tell you, customer, be nice. Because I'm a salesman. I worked in real estate, mortgages. Okay. I'm a salesperson, and what I learned is, as long as I'm nice to you, you're gonna like me. You got three other businesses competing for your business, right?
Right, absolutely.
Who do you go with? Well, I like this people. I like these
people that you like.
Yeah, and what we want is people to come back over and over again, and we want you to feel at home.
Yeah, man. Customer service is a key, and when you're dealing with such a business where it's, you know what I'm saying, hand in the pocket, people that you're dealing with every day, you see on a regular, you have regular things. You definitely want to have people that you want around.
And one of the things that my mentor has taught me is you want to keep almost every cigar that you keep. If you come in and you're looking for a certain cigar, and I don't have it, you leave. You might buy something else, right, but I don't have your favorite.
So you might not come back.
You might not ever come back.
Right, absolutely. Okay. That's the basis of knowing what the people like.
Yes, and try to get it in the store.
How do you feel like your son, when it comes to knowing what the people like and trying new things, like how does he do it? What is his?
He amazes me.
It's just
he amazes me. He know what everybody smokes. No. What we got vendors down in Florida. We call, hey, we're looking for this. And vendors are always coming and selling us different cigars.
Yeah.
And he amazes me how he shops.
With that thing being said, you talking about vendors and everything. Have you ever faced any type of like you being like a black cigar shop owner? Is there any type of adversity that you ever like kind of had to go up against in terms of like dealing with, vendors? Large vendors and people like
they like
trying
green.
to get you in the business?
They like green.
So all money counting in that regard.
They like green. Mm-hmm. Every year we go to PCA. PCA is the big cigar convention in Las Vegas.
All right.
Okay.
And normally my secretary and I go. So the first year he started, the three of us went. He kind of saw what I did. And I'll be honest with you, if I go to Vegas, I don't want to go to a cigar convention.
Right.
I don't want to be.
What you want to go do, Greg?
Have fun, gamble,
right,
enjoy scenery.
Right.
But from Friday to Sunday, we cigar shopping, and you might walk the length of 2 football fields just back and forth,
Yeah.
And I told him last year. I said, listen, next year I'm not going.
Right, this is his job now. Huh?
And he had only been doing it a few months.
Wow.
And I kept to my word. I did not go with him.
He took to it and just kind of came on through.
And the secretary went. He came back. I spent X amount of dollars. I got this. He amazes me. I don't have to come here. I can go do my other work.
Yeah.
I come here because I smoke.
and it's a good vibe. Like, how can you avoid it? You put so much work in it.
So speaking of doing other work, you have other ventures as well that you're into as well?
Like I told you, I'm a general contractor. I'm a public adjuster. And what I do most is I flip property.
Oh, so I didn't know that I know that you probably would have still been active in real estate still. I didn't know that you were still active in contracting and things like that as well. Okay.
I love that.
So that's why you tired, man. You got your hands in more than one basket. You know what I'm saying? That's understandable.
But sometimes you got to do that job to make a decent living.
I can guarantee you.
How many streams of income it take?
Yeah.
7.
7?
Is it 7?
7.
So they got 7.
You get 7?
But I keep at least 2 more.
Hey man, listen. It's been such a pleasure. I told you, once you get talking to us, it might be a little longer than you expect because you're gonna enjoy it. Fair to say? Fair to say. Listen, Greg, do me a favor. Tell everybody where we at, where to find you, and then also I kind of want you, myself, I'm a member, or I'm planning to be a member. You know what I'm saying? Tell them what's that take, what they need to do, and where to find you.
You're gonna show parts of the shop.
Oh yeah, we already got
We in Maywood at 1117 South 1st Avenue. That's right on 1st Avenue in Madison. You can't miss us. We got signs up, we got lights up. You come here, you're gonna have a great time. You think you want to be a member? We're gonna put membership on sale. I think it's maybe you purchase $200-$300 worth of cigars a month. Now you're a member.
Yep.
Okay, you could be a member. You could utilize anywhere, any other facility that you want to.
Where are we now?
1117.
No, I mean the room.
Oh, we're in the VIP room.
We're in the VIP room.
Yeah,
so this is the members only room. But listen, like he said, $300 worth of cigars a month.
We got plush leather cigars with our name in them.
Seats.
Yeah. Really nice lounge chairs.
Yeah. Listen, they so nice that we got a lot of brothers that fall asleep back here sometimes.
One of the times I hate the most is when I say we closing.
And everybody goes, right?
Y'all, we closing. They just sit there like we didn't say nothing. We closing.
They don't want to go home.
Nobody wants to go home. But in that note, one thing about it, since we've moved to Maywood, we close a lot later. Right? Midnight. I thought it was. What about on the weekends?
Midnight.
Oh, midnight on the weekends. Okay, yeah.
Midnight. These people stand on their feet and work. And we clean and pass out cigars. They be ready to go home.
I understand, but we have a good time while doing it.
Yeah, we have a good time.
Listen. Y'all want to come check us out here at Casa De Puros, like he said, 1117 South 1st Avenue in Maywood. When I tell you it is the hands down best cigar shop in the Chicagoland area, not only for myself, but I'm telling you, everybody in here will tell you the exact same thing. 6 different TVs, sports are always going, good energy, good food, good people, good drinks, because you can bring your own, and we gonna set it up straight like that. Joe?
Man, so come check them out, man, for real, because I'm amazed. Every time I step into one of Greg's establishments, I always feel welcome. I always feel at home. I never feel out of place. This is the place you want to be. If you just want some me time, you want to kind of kick it with the boys and kind of hang back, watch the sports, congregate with your fellas, man, I think this is the spot you need to come down here.
And ladies.
And ladies, not to exclude the ladies, because I understand that the population of female cigar smokers is growing rapidly, you know what I'm saying? But, just a form of expression. You want to come back, hang out with the gang. This is the place to be, man.
Absolutely.
I want to thank y'all for having me.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank y'all for doing that here. And yes, come out and check us out. You will love it. You will love it. You'll have
Definitely
fun.
will.
And women smoke well as the men, and we have plenty of fun.
Hey, and one thing, we talk about it a lot on the Facts and Law Pod show, but a lot of you single ladies, if y'all looking for a good brother, it's a lot of brothers that's up here. So go ahead and find yourself a cigar that you like to smoke and come politic and see what's out here, because a lot of the brothers that's in here, it's about building businesses and building each other and actually being about something. So stop running to the club all the time and wherever the hell y'all be finding these dudes that's not making it work. And you might find you a good one in the cigar shop. I'm trying to tell you, we see it all the time. You dig? So also, listen, I'm going to wrap it up. Listen, if you want to follow us, it's the Facts and Law Pod Show. It's a pod show, not a podcast. You need to see this fly. If you want to follow me, it's Chicago Outlaw, the West Side Legend. My page on Instagram is ChicagoUtlaw. The same O in Chicago is the same on Outlaw. It's only one. And if you want to follow us, as I said, it's the Facts and Law Pod Show. It's not a podcast. It's a pod show. You need to see this fly. Jacques?
Man, shout out to Facts, man, for not being here, giving me the opportunity to step in and talk to this great, amazing band right here.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. Don't look for me on social media. I won't be there. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next time.
Hey, listen, and like we always say, life is good. I'm trying to tell you. Peace. That was great, bro. So check it. Yo, good energy, good people. We back real quick, and we happen to have an opportunity to speak with the good mayor of Maywood. What's up, good brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man, good. Hey, glad you had the opportunity to come sit down with Facts and Facts and Law, but that's opinions. I'm law. You know what I'm saying? Facts couldn't be here today, but you know what I'm saying? We're gonna hold it down. But we were talking to Greg about, just opening up Casa De Puros. When did it come to you? Like, when did you hear about Casa trying to come to Maywood?
Greg? So, what had happened was, the situation. So, Greg had reached out and invited me over to his Casa De Puros in Forest Park. And in my head, I'm like, I don't smoke cigars. I wasn't thinking about it.
Right.
From the standpoint of he was interested in coming to Maywood. So, initially, he brought me over to Casa De Puros, and I was like, okay, try a cigar. Try the cigar because I really don't smoke.
Right.
And then it was more so, I want you to meet me at this other spot. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we ended up going to a place called Monte Cristo in Countryside.
Gotcha.
So it was a huge, beautiful place like this one is.
Mm-hmm.
And it had this downstairs VIP lounge. And I'm just like, this is nice. And he was like, this is what I want to bring to Maywood. You want to bring this to Maywood? And the reality was, we didn't have any ordinances for it.
Mm-hmm.
So this facility took 4 different new ordinances to be created for this to come.
Let me ask you this: how long had you been married before that came into play?
This was that 4th quarter? So all of this happened within the last 12 months.
Right, but
I've been mayor since May of 2021.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
So when he came with this was going into 4th quarter of last year.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was okay. So then he was initially thinking about purchasing the building. He hadn't purchased the building yet, and really it was very random because he was having the conversation, but we knew the ordinances had to be placed. Mm-hmm. It was at a time that we were doing this moratorium on bringing in different things and different licenses because there was no licenses for cannabis. There was no licenses for hookah. There was nothing for cigars. There was nothing. There was a lot of stuff missing, right? Okay. And it was almost gonna be like the Wild Wild West because if somebody just had applied for a general license, technically
you can't do it. Right.
There wouldn't have been nothing to stop you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So we did this 6-month moratorium, and within that process, Greg actually helped us write it.
Yeah.
Because it was looking at what is the policy of Countryside, what is the policy of Forest Park, but really from the standpoint from your lens as the business owner, what don't you like about that policy?
Right. Right.
So
I'm sorry to interrupt. So in order for him to form this business in this area, in this town, he kind of had to help set the guidelines in a sense.
Not in a sense, he did.
Wow.
To do that.
It's the first. It's the first of it, right?
1-on-1 right there.
So I'll give you the reality is before my administration there was no tobacco commission.
Okay.
Right? So we established the tobacco commission. There was no ordinance or variance for him to have the patio up front like he has. There was no ordinance when this building was just a structure without it. There was no back patio, so there was no ordinance for that. There was no ordinance for cigar. There was no ordinance for BYOB as an establishment together, because the only thing that focuses on not having BYOB is either you're a brunch spot that doesn't want to sell liquor as regular, or you're a hookah lounge, or you're cigar lounge, right? So we had to create the BYOB ordinance as well. Wow. So that's the 4.
So with that being, now that you have all these ordinances set in place, now is that more inviting to people who want to own businesses on the side of town, who want to kind of come into the same vein of an establishment and everything?
So I would say going through the process with Greg, not only was it, yes, it's more inviting because those standards are established, but the other part is you have businesses like we're working right now with 2 young ladies that are doing studio spas.
Okay.
So they're going to do 10 different locations inside one building, where it's like your own individual suite, almost like booth rent.
Nice.
It's your own individual space. So if you want to be an esthetician, if you want to have a weed hair braiding, weed
Where's
shop,
that gonna be?
that's going to be on Lake Street off 5th.
Ah,
So
nice.
throughout that process, we actually created an ordinance for them because they started coming to the meetings and seeing like, well, if y'all creating it for Greg, if y'all creating
Y'all can do it for us.
then why can't we do it? And we're like, I don't know.
But
So
that's
then they had to
good,
go
right?
out to a place. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's bringing more businesses to the
absolutely.
town, and that's a feather in your cap, huh?
Listen, God is good.
God is good.
What type of what does that do in terms of like when you are making room for these businesses to come in and having these new ideas come set in this town or whatever after having it so long and having it almost like an archaic type of system. Like,
Yeah.
What does it do for your town? Like what does it bring? What does it help in that sense of success?
So I think it is no secret that the word around the town is like we trying to rebuild Wakanda, right?
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, even if you think right now, there are 7 black-owned businesses with permits right now.
Okay.
Right? I think it brings that energy of I have an administration that I can work with. Because the old school administration was more so of I can't work with you. Your codes are your codes. Your things are your things, right? So if I'm looking at an ordinance that was made in 1960, previous administration would say, well, that's the ordinance.
Right.
I'll look at it and say, well, we can change that.
We
right?
can fix it,
Open
right?
it up and look at the
Like,
books.
let's look at if it exists. My whole philosophy is if you have something that you want to bring to Maywood and you're like, but your ordinance doesn't exist, my thing's like, give me 2 towns that exist in. And I'll go to those 2 towns and look at it. I will drive to any town. I'll go to Indiana. It doesn't matter to me. If it's something that works for community engagement, if it's something that's not a quick buck, like you have so many people trying to do like the liquor storefront, the smoke,
Right,
or a
yes.
smoke shop.
Right.
What does that do for community engagement?
Exactly.
That's the quick buck, right? All money, not good money. Everybody want a little casino lounge thing.
Right.
That doesn't really make any money for local government, right?
Gotcha.
That might make money for the state. That might make
Doesn't
money for
enrich
the
the
county.
community.
But
Doesn't do
Right.
that doesn't do anything for us.
Right.
So it's like when you're thinking about bringing things that are going to bring outside traffic, like if you go 2 years ago, who was doing a podcast in Maywood, right?
Exactly, right.
So for me, let's actually do some things or change some ordinance or create some ordinances or create an atmosphere that's more welcoming for businesses. And then therein lies you say, yes, Casa De Puros open today. We just cut a ribbon on Just For Us Girls. That's a little kid studio, healthy treatment spa day thing. We have S2 Grill Daiquiri Bar coming. We have Yours Cafe and Bistro coming.
Where's that?
Yours Cafe and Bistro is going to be across the street on the 1100 block of 5th, across from Palazzo Baptist.
Gotcha.
So that'll be like breakfast, bistro, brunch, day party type energy, indoor, outdoor, right? You got exclusive lounge, 2-story sports bar coming. We had to create ordinances in regards to that. The village actually had to sell 2 lots that we've owned for over a decade, just sitting there,
Just
doing
sitting there
nothing,
with
right?
nothing.
But my thing is, we also had to create ordinances for that because that's also going to have hookah.
Right.
So my thing is, if you just show yourself of being willing to be open and saying like realistically, I just want what's best for Maywood, right? If you're going, I want things that are going to pull people into Maywood and make people want to move into Maywood and stay in Maywood, right? It's not about you had for so long. You had the previous administration didn't want to give out liquor license, but you don't mind everybody driving to Oak Brook to enjoy liquor.
Right.
You don't have cigar lounge, but you don't mind everybody going to countryside or Forest Park to the cigar lounge. These are your residents driving outside of your zip code, taking the tax dollars
And
outside of
putting it
your zip
elsewhere.
code. So what else that helps and what else that benefits to your point, it's like you say, well, what are we doing about home property taxes?
Yeah.
Well, once we address commercial tax, then we can
We
better
can-
address
and potentially-
rebate programs. We can
Potentially lower.
well, we can create
He's
rebate.
like, hold on, I ain't say that.
Let me clear. So okay, so here's the part, right? So this is what I will acknowledge, right?
Yeah.
If you look at the western suburbs, statistically right now, we are the highest tax community of the western suburbs because of previous administration's decisions. I can say, even as trustee, before I became mayor, because I became the trustee in 2019, 2020, I led a whole community fight as a 6-month project for the first time in over a decade to not raise the levy of taxes, right? And no time in my administration, we didn't raise it my first year, my second year, and we've already identified we're not going to raise it again this year, right?
Okay.
So levies not getting raised, taxes aren't being raised, but we still were the highest. but that doesn't mean that you can't come up with different creative ways to benefit people. When you say lower taxes, let me be clear, I'm gonna just be honest. I'm not interested in lowering taxes on the slumlord, right?
Yeah.
Now, if this is your primary residence, I can give you a rebate.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
If this is you just on a come up because you done bought up 10 Maywood houses 10 years ago when you could buy them for 30 grand a pop,
Right.
and you did just enough to do the lipstick on the pig to get it open, and now with some Section 8 house, I'd rather you sell that house and get out of here.
Because that's something that we've been looking. I've looked at about 3 or 4 houses here in Maywood that I'm actually interested in purchasing, but we're like, those taxes are nuts. And some of the things, I will be honest, that we are like, well, what are these taxes going to? You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I do want to see in Maywood, more grocery stores, things like that. What do you think about that?
Yeah. So we do have, the village owns the grocery store on 5th in Washington, and we have gone into a sales agreement with Living Fresh.
Okay.
So Living Fresh is the largest black-owned grocery store in the Midwest region,
Dope.
right?
Dope.
So that's in Forest Park. This is going to be their second location. So
The one that's on Roosevelt?
right on Roosevelt
Gotcha. Yeah.
in Winston Plaza.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So with that location, we're working with the governor's office to get that place working to be open prayerfully by next year, right?
Dope.
Because we've been talking about it, and I think the biggest problem is people talk about stuff a lot, but I'm just more so, I want to talk about it.
Get it
so I'm
done.
on the ribbon cutting date.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of things coming from Living Fresh. We have a federally qualified health center. If you look at the lot right next door to Living Fresh, like that empty lot across the street,
Yeah.
a federally qualified health center working with, again, strong, black, organized Christian community health center
Yeah.
to bring health services to the community, a pharmacy to the community.
Yeah.
So we're working on that project already with them. Trinity Health that owns Loyola and Gottlieb have already done like this feasibility study, and now we're in the second phase of getting that done, working with our congressman, our state rep, our senator, and our county administrators to get that done. So we also have a national coffee chain coming right on First and Harrison. Again, that was through conversations and different incentives going on. So, I mean, we got a lot of great things happening in Maywood, even when you look at our crime. Crime has done over double-digit dips in every heavy aspect of crime. You look at Maywood 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we were at 21 homicides a year.
Right.
This year, sorry, any homicide is a bad homicide, right? But there's only 4.
Right. You want to lower it
And
as
of
much
the
as possible.
4,
Yeah.
all 4 have arrests made and charges have been filed.
There you go.
And
Hey,
none
look.
of them were gang activity.
Preach it then. I hear you. I see what you said. I see what you're doing. All right. So
God is good.
Right. So here's my thing. So we were looking at, me and my wife were looking at a home on, I forget exactly where, but right behind it is a very large vacant building, right? Very large vacant building. Once we, off camera, I kind of go more into detail.
Okay.
But one thing that I thought about with that building was a potential, we talk about bringing like more to the town of Maywood. I was thinking it's a perfect spot for potentially something like, do you think about movie studios and things like that?
We actually have had 2 instances of thought process of movie film type studio coming into Maywood, and we're not opposed to it. The conversation is still open on the 2 properties. There's 2 different locations that they're talking about that realistically, let's be real, it's Maywood. One hasn't paid taxes in over a decade,
Right.
so it's in back tax issues, so we're dealing with that right now. And then the other one has a few more recent tax rolls that we have to work through. But again, both of them are going through tax issues, but no, that's not off the table because they're very interested in that. We just got the ownership and EPA clearance in regards to our golf range. So the village owns the golf range. So the golf range that's been closed for a decade now.
We need to get that open, baby. I got clubs in the trunk right now. I'm ready.
So working on that as well. Like
Dope.
again, like it's a lot of stuff positively happening in Maywood. My whole thing is, if anybody's interested in being a part of that, just let me know and we'll talk. And I think the other thing that people appreciate is like, I'm real blunt. Like I'll say, like, because you'll always have somebody, I want to put a liquor store. Well, here's the part. We intentionally created an ordinance that unless you're going to buy a 10,000 square foot building
You can't get
and
it.
actually do a Famous Liquors or a Benny's type environment, there's no liquor store for you.
There's no reason for
That's
it.
a dead conversation.
more of a
I want to
professional
do a
level
slot machine
professional.
storefront. We kind of put ordinances in place to not allow that. I want to do a smoke shop. We kind of have ordinances in place that don't allow for that. So it's also about being very upfront and intentional about what you wish to see in your community.
So essentially, you all have guidelines. You all are open to opening new businesses and new ventures and things in the town of Maywood. You just want to have a certain level of exception in terms of what you will and won't do, and what in terms of like how it will bring like
Gotta be selective, baby.
Yeah, how it will bring like a better look to the community and to the surrounding areas and whatnot. Because you kind of in between these suburbs that kind of have like minor success in having profitability and businesses and things of that level. You kind of want to kind of stay on par with those surrounding towns.
So my biggest thing is, one, if you're a developer that doesn't live in Maywood but you have a development idea for me for Maywood, my first question to you is, would you put it in your town? Okay. If you wouldn't put it in your town, why are you trying to bring it to Maywood? Right? So that's the other part. The other part becomes, will it oversaturate the market? Then the other question really becomes, is this something that will not only service our residents but attract more attention of sales tax into Maywood, right? Because if we get more revenue through commercial, then we can do the homeowner rebates for primary homeowners. We can do programming that provides new windows, new roofing, senior citizen programming. We can add more youth programming. We can pay for the youth programming so that our kids ain't charging parents $200, $300 for their kids to be in soccer, right? Or to be in football, or to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just if the money makes sense from a revenue standpoint, I say it all the time. So elements of a healthy Maywood. It's 12 different components that I say all the time has nothing to do with day-to-day operations of government, but everything to do with makes a community great. So if you're talking about healthcare, food access, educational services, economic opportunities, anything that's going to bring more people into Maywood and stay in Maywood, let's have that conversation. If it's just for you to make a quick buck, all money's not good money, and we dead on the ride.
Is there anything that you would personally like to see come to Maywood that would help with the enrichment of your community?
Oh yeah, plenty. So for me, one, I think my biggest piece was there was no sit-down full-service restaurant in Maywood when I became mayor, right?
Facts.
So when I look at, think about it. Where can you go in Maywood, get a meal, and have a drink? Nowhere. Right? Name one.
You kind of skipping over from town through north, south,
so
east,
again,
west.
Whatever makes my residents leave to enjoy it. That's what I'm bringing in.
You want to keep that in.
So when you think about where we are, now you're getting into the full first term, S2 Grill and Daiquiri Bar, full service restaurant. US Cafe and Bistro, full service restaurant. Exclusive Lounge will be a full service restaurant. So my goal was to attract that type of environment. So we got 3 coming that are already permit under construction. Another thing that I said, before we got this national coffee chain coming right off First and Harrison, where could you go grab a cup of coffee except for Dunkin' Donuts by the courthouse?
Right here, right?
Yeah. That's it. Dunkin' Donuts, that's all you had. I mean, you might be able to go grab a quick cup at Maywood Express, but like, what average person is going to go grab from Maywood Express?
Even knows about
and who even knows that?
Right.
Like,
you have to be very specific in terms of the type of customer that they have.
So I was very intentional about attracting that coffee chain to say, hey, you're not around us. Come on, we can work out a deal. And it's not about throwing away the bank, because I think a lot of times, because we are that underserved, disadvantaged community, everybody thinks you have to give all the incentives of the world. You don't. There's multiple different ways to make a deal, and no deal is the same. So I think being intentional about what you want to see. So to your point, I want to see more retail mixed use with residential. When you think about Loyola, you have 850 nursing students right off First and Roosevelt. There's no housing on that entire complex.
Wow.
Right?
So they have to go and live elsewhere, pay their money elsewhere in other communities.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, when you think about it at the same time, when was the last, aside from the affordable housing complex, that's the 72 unit on 5th Avenue, thank God that opened, because that's really, people thought it was going to be a bunch of Section 8, but it's really a lot of workforce housing of either students or people who work at Loyola that live there, because it's the newest thing in Maywood. But where in Maywood, if I wanted to work and live in Maywood, can I say I want an upscale apartment with upscale amenities in a non-prehistoric, pre-war building? There isn't one.
That's facts.
Right? Wow. So those are the types of things I would like to see. And then sometimes it's like the little simple things that mean everything. A dry cleaner, right? A fitness center, right? Basic things that every resident wants every day. those
in
are
their
the
community.
Within reach, absolutely.
Something that I can walk around and get to, like, it's real simple.
Yeah.
Can I walk out the front door and enjoy this?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that those are the things that I would like to see.
So more of a community-based aspect in terms of businesses, no cash grabs. We trying to do things
All money ain't good money.
on a communal level, and we trying to get a reestablishment of like residents interacting with their community rather than venturing outside, spending their dollars. You want them to spend dollars in Maywood the proper way.
And also anything that can build more community engagement.
Yes.
Because my thing is, if you build that sense of community, you'll have community come out and engage with the community, and you'll feel like you're not just living in a place that you drive into the driveway
Exactly.
and then hit the expressway in the morning and drive back into the driveway.
Yeah.
You might stop at the grocery store, you might do Instacart, but you're not a part of the community. A lot of times, like for me, Maywood is that cushy, culturally rich black community of the western suburbs.
Absolutely.
That if we truly become intentional about making that sustain itself, it could be a beautiful thing to look at it 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and say there was intentionality put behind why this is the way that it is.
Absolutely.
Keep it real.
Absolutely.
This brother is over here preaching, though. One thing I will say, right now feels like a good time to get in on the ground floor. I've been looking. Me and my wife have been looking. Look, when I came up here and met you on the ribbon cutting, the grand opening for Casa De Puros, I was like, yeah, we're going to get a chance to sit down and talk, because that's some stuff I wanted to kind of go over with you and just see where your head was at with it. And I love what I've heard, brother. Listen, I'm enthused about it. It makes me see where your mindset is. It makes me want to even really consider doing even more things than just trying to not only purchase a home out here, but bring businesses here, because real talk, that's what we're looking for. It's hard to do it in the city. You know what I mean? You don't have access to, let's say, the mayor like that, or the different things in some of these other places. I have not only sat down with you a couple times, have met you a couple times, but it's an opportunity to really pick your brain, listen to you speak on how you feel about the community that you serve. And I love what I'm hearing, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying?
You let me know whenever you're interested. We can have a conversation. I tell people all the time, even if you have like 10 people that you want to meet around this room, and we just sit here and talk. Even if you want me to bring, like, we have the partnership with Liberty Bank. That's the largest black national bank in the country, right? I can have them sit right here with us and have that same conversation. Wow. If it's conversation that's going to bring economic development and prosperity or residential development to the community, I would have that conversation every day.
Every day, all day, baby. Y'all heard it. Well, listen, man. Tell people a little bit about you, where to find you if they have questions, good stuff like that, where they can, at least, even if it's shoot you an email.
Wait, before we do that.
Yeah.
You saying that you're inviting people to, want to have more community engaged businesses. What would be the first step that they would do in terms of reaching the level of, getting something in motion, getting traction on an idea? Yeah. What's the first plan of action that they have to take?
Vet your idea for yourself. That's the first thing.
Okay.
Everybody wants to give you the quick idea that just came to their mind because they feel like, oh, the mayor's here, I'll never be able to have this moment again. It's not that deep. My email is nbooker@maywood-il.gov. You can email me your idea, and I'll give you a response of asking you the questions of saying, have you thought of this? Have you looked at this? Do you think this? I will do that any day. That does not bother me, because my thing is everybody says, I want to meet with the mayor. Okay. Have you talked to the community development department? Do you have a property that you're looking at? Do you have the finances to do what you want to do?
Absolutely.
I don't have a problem talking to you, but I might not be the first step, right? So I think it's sometimes people have to be intentional about their thought process, because if you do come and talk to me first, and then I'm asking, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? You're gonna, sometimes people feel like, oh, he's playing me. I'm not trying to play you. I'm literally asking you the questions that everybody else is gonna ask.
But a highly motivated person might see that as by saying, oh, well, that rejection was for my protection, in the sense of that he gave me the checklist.
It depends on how you count
what I need to, exactly. You know what I'm saying? What I need to vet myself with. By you just checking off those, you just asking them to check off those boxes. That's a great piece.
They don't know a lot of people don't even know the boxes.
So I'll say another thing that we did to help with the boxes was we created a position in the community development department called attention and retention coordinator. So if I'm attracting you to Maywood, I want to retain you in Maywood. Come to Maywood, have a conversation. I think I want to do this. I think I want to do this. I have the finances to do this. I'm looking for this square footage. You know, you have Michelle Kitch right there in the Community Development Department. She does attraction and retention all day long. That's literally all her job is to help show you what properties we have available, get you in touch with whoever the owner is. If it's the land bank, it's the land bank. If it's the village, it's the village. If it's a private owner, it's a private owner. But her whole position is to hold your hand through the entire process. Because we also have another restaurant that we just opened and helped the guy get to closing on his business. So now he's not only a leaseholder of the building, he owns the building.
Dope.
Because it's everybody doesn't, you don't know what you don't know. And you're not thinking about what you're not thinking about. That man could have paid rent for the next 15, 20 years.
And
now
not
he owns the building.
Exactly.
But we knew that the guy really low-key wanted to sell the building. So we're like, why not get him connected to the people that can actually get him to own the building?
That's fantastic,
right?
man. Exactly.
Hey, man,
So my thing is, if we build in generational wealth, then let's build some generational wealth.
Build it together in a hood that where the people look like us, want us to do the best that we can, because that in turn allows the village to do the best that they can. I love it, man. Look.
Win-win.
You say that email where they can actually send you one more time?
N Booker, so N Nathaniel, BOOKER at Maywood-il.gov.
Alright, and before we go, what's the next big thing for you as mayor? What do you think you're doing here? What's something you want people to look out for?
Well, the two biggest things that we have going on. One, the grocery store. Two, the federally qualified health center. Another one, we just got a $2.5 million grant from the state from Quincy to Lake Street on 5th Avenue. We're doing a Main Street downtown entertainment district. So we're doing a feasibility study in regards to that. And then if you look at over on 5th and Lake where the police station is, we have a huge Veterans Park where the Fred Hampton Pool is. We actually got a $2.25 million grant to do a feasibility of reimagining that whole 18 acres of space and looking at what the possibilities of that is to attract more to Maywood. So those are the the four biggest things.
Listen, y'all heard them, and I'm gonna keep it real. One of the most impressive things that I noticed, it's a young brother in a city that looks like us running things well, man. I appreciate you, good brother, for stopping, giving us some time in the shop. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all know what it is. As I said, the Facts and Law Pod Show. It's a pod show, not a podcast. You need to see this fly, and I think we good. We good? We good.
Man, peace out, y'all.
Peace. That was